Hey everyone, Ron Burke from GamingTrend.com here to show you a little bit of the campaign for Troy, a Total War Saga. You can check out our previous hands-on preview for a more in-depth look at combat in this title. Coming to us from the team at Creative Assembly Sophia, Troy, a Total War Saga represents an interesting bend for the franchise, tackling the legend of Troy as told through Homer's epic poem, The Iliad. This game tries to blend history, epic battles, and legends into the Total War strategic formula. The city of Troy was besieged for over 10 years by the Greek army after Paris, the son of King Priam, stole away Helen, the queen of Sparta. It's a tale as old as time. Boy meets girl, girl is married to somebody else, girl steals away with boy, boy's friend goes to Mount Olympus and has Hephaestus forge a new suit of armor that protects his entire body other than his heel, a giant wooden horse is involved, and in the end, nobody really wins. It's really a story of hubris. Troy, a Total War Saga, the latest entry in the Total War series from Creative Assembly and Sega, looks to retell that story in a fresh and realistic way. You might have seen our hands-on preview with the combat systems of the game, but now you've had the chance to check out the extensive campaign mode. It's time to find that intersection between legend and history. The first thing that I noticed is that the campaign map of Troy Total War Saga is absolutely massive, with over 250 regions and 230 settlements, including real-world landmarks like Mount Olympus, Zeus Hill, and Meteoria, just to name a few. The mystical elements are also well represented with a deep anchor to reality. For example, while sailing through uncharted waters as Paris, I encountered quote-unquote spirits on the ocean that led to the demoralization of the crew. In reality, I may have simply let them go in the open ocean for far too long, the crew suffering from the usual doldrums of being too long at sea. As we covered in our first hands-on preview, mystical elements are ever present in Greek and Spartan legends. The curtain was pulled back a little further this time around, revealing the Gorgon, Satyr, Cyclops, and Seer in addition to the Minotaur and Centaurs we saw previously. Once again, these are normal-ish humans, shrouded in mystery due to their chosen tactics elevating them to an almost mystical state. For example, Gorgons can terrify enemy troops, demoralizing them. Satyrs are the exact opposite, spreading joy and mirth, which helps productivity for your crew. The Cyclops is a giant of a man wearing a single-eyed bone helm that is brutal in close combat, but wears no armor. Seers specialize in rituals and prophecy as you'd expect, helping them to appease the gods, a more nuanced mechanic for the series. There are a few new tricks with Troy. During our 40-turn demo, I got to see a change to the trade system. Now I could make single transaction barter agreements, helping to grease the palms of my opponents to curry favor. Or I could set up an ongoing trade agreement, helping me obtain goods I couldn't otherwise get. This helps with the pressure of balancing 5 resources. That's a change for the resource economy to the series. In Troy, you have basics like food and wood, but far more advanced structures will require stone and bronze. Gold, being the most rare of all, is used for top-tier upgrades and improvements to your structures. I had one faction so desperate for gold that they offered one of their minor settlements for just a handful of the stuff. Foolhardy for them, fortuitous for me. The ancient Mediterranean is filled with stories of vengeful, wise, and occasionally benevolent gods, and Troy is no exception. Here you must balance the divine will of the gods to curry their favor. Each of the 7 gods, specifically Zeus, Hera, Aphrodite, Ares, Athena, Apollo, and Poseidon, carry their own advantages. If you plan on focusing on growth and production, Hera, Zeus, and Aphrodite can provide. Ares and Athena are gods associated with war and wisdom, offering bonuses for your troops and better command. Pouring more adulation into a single god yields higher tiers of rewards, and you can appease more than one, but there is one problem you'll need to solve. The gods are capricious and fickle, requiring constant adulation. As such, without constant attention, their interest will wane, as will their favor, eventually dropping off entirely. If you want their blessing, you'll need to make regular and ever-increasing tributes. Beyond deity meddling, there's some new mechanics for units. We talked about the different unit strengths, light, medium, and heavy, in the previous hands-on, but now these mechanics extend to leadership. By way of example, Paris has a better disposition the closer he is to whatever settlement Helen happens to be in. You can have her travel to different cities to remain closer to Paris, though he will become melancholy and surly, affecting his troops and performance in the field the longer he is away. Complete with his own issues, Paris suffers at the hands of his father, King Priam. You see, Priam is trying to decide which of his sons will become heir to the throne. He was rumored to have sired 50 children, but the game thankfully focuses on just you and your brother Hector. Every action you take will be judged. He'll give you tasks that almost certainly disrupt your battle plans, or land at the worst possible times, and he'll give favor to your brother should you fail, or heap praise on you for success. All faction leaders also have a Homeric victory condition, such as raising a certain amount of settlements, completing heroic tasks, and controlling specific cities, which leads 2 paths to victory: follow history, or change it through total war. Each hero has a number of special skills and attributes they can unleash in the field. Paris, being a world-famous archer, also has the best archers at his command. Menelaus, on the other hand, can recruit units from any faction, as well as occupying any settlement at a distance without having to send in an army to raise it, at the cost of additional resources. Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, is also a good mixture of range and heavily armored infantry, and is able to entice other factions to become vassals. Everyone has a power that can unbalance the game at any time, so it's best that you know your foes and their capabilities, as well as just concentrating on your own skills. From a technical perspective, the game's engine has also received an upgrade for Troy: A Total War Saga. The team has added screen space reflections, upgraded water shading, better shore interaction, grass is more dense and bends around the legs of your army. God rays and the glowing softness showcases the lighting engine beautifully, as does some solid animations. In-engine videos are now 60 frames per second, loading times are noticeably improved, and there's even an arrow trail opacity slider so that every volley doesn't look like tracers on a modern battlefield. After a few more hours with the game, it's clear that Creative Assembly Sophia is eager to showcase their strength on this first full Total War title under their belt. The new additions to the campaign structure and the fresh take on incorporating the myths and legends of the time make for a good twist on the formula. It'll be interesting to see how it all comes together to create a cohesive tactical world. Troy: A Total War Saga releases on August 13th, 2020 as a timed exclusive for the Epic Store, coming to Steam in 2021. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell us what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again right here and at GamingTrend.com.